Welcome back, everybody, to Naked Dino Man, an epic tale told in 333,333 chapters. Episode number, actually, I forget, maybe 14? Wow, we got a long way to go if we're going to have that many chapters. So, it has been a little while since you've stared into my gorgeous emerald eyes, which makes me miss my Pteranodon Esmeralda, who's been gone a long time. So it's been a little while since there's been an episode, and I have a little bit of a story about that, at least about part of it. So I was, well, let me back up. I'm a pretty even-keel individual. It's pretty hard to make me angry in real life or in video games. I don't get salty, really. I don't get upset too often, maybe minorly, but I get over stuff within, like, 2 seconds or something, you know, a really short amount of time. Okay, let's get out of this perspective. Yeah, I don't get salty, really. Almost never. I have a history of playing games like Dark Souls, which has a patch called Prepare to Die. Dwarf Fortress, which is the theme of Dwarf Fortress is losing is fun. Super hostile maps where everything is out to kill you. So yeah, I almost never get salty. By the way, we added gates and doors, and we managed to get them to line up perfectly. I had trouble before, which is one of the reasons I delayed putting gates in here, because I couldn't get it to line up right. Something about having the floor elevated, or I guess these are technically ceilings, it wouldn't really snap properly. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with that. And then somebody, I think it might have been Darkfan, told me the tip about placing things is if you hit K, you go into this mode, which we were just in, and if you move your mouse around, it doesn't rotate at all, and you have a much better angle for lining stuff up. It's great for placing big stuff, like those behemoth gates I placed like this. These smaller ones I placed like that, so you can sort of look around and make sure it lines up in all the proper places, like, is it sticking out the same amount here as there, and is this one sticking out the same as that one over there? It's really good for lining stuff up. Anyway, okay, so here's what happened. We were going to have a PvP event, and well, I wanted to bring something cool to the table, so I went to the northwest section. You see that, the white kind of island with a mountain in the middle? That's the area covered in snow. It's very dangerous. In addition to all the animals there, like a lot of the high-level animals kind of spawn there. It's full of T-Rexes and wolves and saber-toothed tigers and raptors and the vultures and basically everything there wants you to die. It's extremely cold, so you're shivering the entire time and losing health really quickly. And I have 60 points into fortitude, which means I have like natural insulation for a hot and cold weather. Extremely high, but even I was freezing up there. It's really crazy. This, by the way, is a Paraceratherium, which we are about to tame. Yeah, okay, I might have to do some narco. Oh, I forgot the berries. I was gonna fly my Pteranodon up here, I think. And I chose to run, because I happened to find one fairly close. And that Paraceratherium is going to be important for a test I need to do. For what we want to do today, which is... Did I close that? We're going to build a storage and crafting area up there in the mountain on the side of the cliff. And I need to do a test with the Paraceratherium to make sure an idea I have, make sure it works before I start construction. Anyway, okay, so I was up there. We were going to have another PvP battle at that castle fortress thing that Etho built. And basically we were going to change sides. We already did one PvP battle. We did one PvP battle. And ouch! Oh, rubber banding. The invaders were going to be the defenders, and the defenders were going to be the invaders. So to attack the castle, since I would be on the attacking side this time, I wanted to bring an army of pink elephants, the woolly mammoths, like I have up there. So I was flying around up in this extremely dangerous environment where I'm constantly freezing, and like the weather gets so cold. Most of the time, I have to be standing by not just one, but 2 fireplaces or campfires in order not to lose health. Some of the time I can get by, it depends on the time of day, but at nighttime I definitely have to be standing by those, otherwise I lose health and die. And that's in addition to all the stuff trying to kill you. So I was up there trying to shoot a mammoth with a trank arrow, and I was using my pteranodon because they're fast. And I had killed everything in the area. I killed everything in the area, and I was kiting this mammoth around, but some random wolf popped up and killed my pteranodon while I was off shooting the mammoth. And this was like within a span of 2 seconds. It happened extremely quickly. And he killed my pteranodon. He killed Harold. Harold and Maud I've tamed my pteranodons in pairs. I had Esmeralda and what's his name? The other one. Esmeralda and I'm not gonna have to give you Narco. No, you're probably gonna be fine. Esmeralda and the other one. Anyway, Esmeralda's been dead for a long time, which is every time I look in my emerald eyes, I remember Esmeralda. But Harold died. I've had Harold for a long time. He was the highest level pteranodon by far. He died. I had spent a lot of time leveling him up, killing stuff too. So it was like a big loss of not just the dinosaur, but the amount of time I had put into the dinosaur leveling him. So like, crap. Plus I died and I couldn't find my stuff. And to compound all this, when you die or you lose an animal, if you look at the distance, I'm about as far from that area of the map as you can get. So that's why I was using a pteranodon instead of an Argentavis, because they're so much faster. But I decided, okay, I'm going to have to bring my strong Argentavis over there, because it's better that I'm more survivable than fast. I only have to do so many trips. So I took him over there, and I basically spent a lot of time killing low-level mammoths to try to get medium to high-level ones. I constructed this elevated platform base so that I could be safe from animals on the ground. And that's where I would go at nighttime to stand next to campfires. And basically, after like 10 hours of this kind of stuff, I was about to give up. I was like, okay, if I don't find mammoths in like 30 minutes, I'm done. You just won't have, no pink elephants. No pink elephants for this event. And then lo and behold, I found 3 right in a row. And I managed to tame all 3 without them getting killed. And then after that, so this is like 11 and a half hours in to what is going to be like a tiny little segment in this video. And this is just like, this game in a nutshell can be so time consuming sometimes. So I have to walk these mammoths all the way from that snowy part all the way back here, because the only animal in the game that can carry them is a Quetzal, and I haven't tamed one yet. I'm high enough level to do it now, though. And that's how we'll do it in the future. But I was walking them back, and they get stuck on like every little tree in the world. All these little random trees like that stump and the little tiny trees. They get stuck on them, so you got to stop and hop off your Argentavis and chop down the tree. So I get all the way around the map, all the way almost back to the base. I'm rounding the last part of the beach, and lo and behold, I see the weirdest thing. I see like 40 dodos marching in formation. They're like in this diamond wedge military formation. And I think to myself, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen dodos do that before, but they're just dodos. So I'm just going to plow right through them. Well, guess what? Nope, they were zombie dodos left over from the Halloween event that they didn't get patched out of the game. If they never died, they're still in the game. And so there was an army of zombie dodos, which I didn't realize have a stupidly high health and do pretty decent damage. So they are attacking my guys. I'm attacking them. They're going flying everywhere like you dropped a pinball on a bunch of mousetraps that also have pinballs. Just like all kinds of things going crazy. And I notice my guys are losing health, and I think, oh no, let's run away. We start to run away, but it was too late. All 3 mammoths died. And so this is well over 12 hours. And the fact that I lost all of that progress to stupid dodos, I just... I was so angry. I was literally angry for 24 real-life hours. Like a full day, I was steaming about this. I got really just so furious. I calmed down. I got over it. I knew I still liked the game. But sometimes frustrating stuff can happen. And it's not the first time I've lost an animal. It's not the first time I've tried to get something to work for several hours and have something not work. Either something dies or I die, I lose my inventory. All that kind of stuff has happened a lot in this game. I still like the game. But yeah, that was just very frustrating. So I didn't play for about a week. I took a little bit of time off. And then Fallout came out. And my whole schedule got turned topsy-turvy. And I had to get this Patreon video out, which is now out. So my schedule was a bit disrupted. And this is the most time-consuming game I currently play as far as making videos for. So I took a little break. But we're back. That's the important thing. Anyway, okay, so I think our animal here is nice and tamed up. I'm going to do some work on the construction, but we've got something else fun to do. We're going to go give a gift to some new friends on the server. Here he comes, flying with a gift. He's a naked caveman with a megalosaurus painted. Yeah, theme painted. We have a megalosaurus present for the new additions to the server. Paws on Paws and Vintage Beef, members of Team Canada. So I have painted up... Oh, pretty close. I've painted up a megalosaurus to give them as a present. I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't be giving them an animal because it's a very satisfying feeling in this game when you first tame animals. And for instance, if you're a low level and you get killed repeatedly by raptors, you fear for your life everywhere you go, and then you finally manage to tame one without dying, and then you can ride it around, and it's like the whole island opens up to you. You can do so much more. So I don't want to rob them of that. So I don't want to give them something that makes the game easier for them. So there's no saddle, and it's very low level. It's only level 9. Yoinks! There we go. Oh, yeah, nice job, myself. Low level, only level 9, and no saddle, so they can't ride it around. It will kind of help them. They could use it to fight stuff, I guess. But what we're going to do, Firehawk, just land, will you? Okay, thank you. And go this way. I was trying to think of a good place to put this, but they've constructed their house actually in a nice place for this kind of thing. I was going to build a little enclosure for it, but we don't really need to. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to unclaim +1, -1. There. Now, anybody on the island who comes to him and finds him can claim him and make him their pet. But I'm assuming Team Canada will. And if you've been watching my videos long enough, you know what +1, -1 means. If you don't, I'm sure someone in the comments will explain it. Okay, we need to put a little sign here. Oh, I can't put it on their structure. Okay, so I guess I need to put it down here. Too close to an enemy foundation or gate. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, this is the first sign I've placed in the game. How far away do we have to be? Wow, okay, pretty far. I guess we're not doing that. Let me look at the... I think there's a note that we can learn how to make, and I never learned the engram for it. Yeah, it's only 3 points, though. Okay, and now how do I craft it? Thatch and fiber. Okay. It reads, a gift for Team Canada from Zisto. I can't even read my own note. So I left it in his inventory. I think that's the most obvious place for them to find it. Now we will unclaim it. Anybody who comes upon it can claim it as their own. I'm sure it's going to be them, and it can be kind of like their mascot, I guess. And just a little additional little thing I did. I sort of gave an upgrade to their fashion sense, to the decoration of the area. I gave a pink and cyan paint job. Just this is like 35% more fashionable now. The house is still this kind of ugly red color, but now we've got all these nice, like a pink sign, pink gravestone, pink Dilophosaurus. And if they don't like it, it's really easy to get rid of. They've got paint. They've got paintbrushes. They've been painting their house red. It's pretty easy to erase stuff. You don't even need paint to do it. You just need a paintbrush. But I think it's a pretty big upgrade. I don't see any reason why they would change it. And just one more time, let's take a look before we get out of here. Let's just take a look at this paint job. Man, this is amazing. I knocked it right out of the park. Does that flag look awesome or what? I missed one little pixel right there on the red, but it's really tricky to do this with the ARK painting system. Here's a nice shot in the sun. Oh man, so nice. I saved this paint job too, so anytime I want to use this paint job on a Megaloceros, I can just basically paste it without all the very tedious stuff of making the maple leaf. But yeah, this guy looks awesome. Hope they enjoy him. He's not going to make the game easy for them, and let's be honest, he's probably going to die before they get too far into the game, because animals have a tendency of dying a lot. Kind of jealous. I almost don't want to leave it here. I want to take it back and pretend this never happened. But no. Anyway, little present for Team Canada. Now let's get back to the base. Okay, guys, we are building a multi-level storage and crafting area that's going to be set at 2 different angles based on the angle of the gate and the other gate. So we have a lot of things to organize and try to figure out how they fit together, how they're going to fit up there, and how we're going to get to them. It's kind of some complicated problems and need to find a simple solution. Here's all the parts. I have a sheet of paper and I made a series of diagrams. Not even kidding. I made a series of diagrams to scale to try to see how these things are going to organize. But I've got 11 or 12 of these storage chests right now. I want probably double that, because these are mostly full, and there's a lot of things in the game I haven't even gotten into fiddling with. For instance, I've got a tools and ammo chest, and it's filled with all these scopes I've found in the beacon things. So yeah, we just need all kinds of more categories to store things. I've got 1 smithy. I'm going to have 4, and I'm going to use it to store a lot of my... Not that one. I'm going to use it to store a lot of my blueprints. So I'm going to have 1 smithy for crafting saddles, 1 smithy for tools and weapons, and then maybe 1 for stuff like this, building stuff, and maybe a 4th one for overflow stuff like armor. I mean, caveman don't need no armor. Then we've got these smithies, probably going to want 3 or 4 of those. Although eventually I'm going to need a mining outpost somewhere, because it's more efficient to have a mining outpost and smelt where you mine, because... well, I would need to have my Ankylosaurus there to get the metal, and you get 1 ingot of metal for every 2 ores, so it's lighter to carry back. We'll need an army of Argentavises to carry it as well. I mean, it's a never-ending series of things. Then there's this guy, the Fabricator, which makes the more complicated stuff. And so I need to make refrigerators. That's another thing we need. Polymers and electronics. Basically, I have to go get a ton of obsidian, which is found in some of the metal areas. And I also need a ton of pearls, which are found in the sea. I have to do a ton of swimming. So lots of things to do, but we can at least lay it out. The industrial grill is another thing, and I made that one because basically I wanted to see how big it was. So it's pretty big. Bam! But it cooks way faster. So let's just stick that back in there. It cooks way faster than the other guy. What else did I make? I thought I made some other things. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So here's the idea. Anytime I go out for supplies or to craft things, I'm going to be coming back with that stuff loaded up on animals, and my character can only hold 200 pounds. Now, not even 200 pounds. If you get up that high, I can't move anymore. So we are going to use our Paraceratherium as a kind of buffer storage. So I've named it buffer storage. So here's the idea. We would come in with our animal, and let's say the animal's loaded down with stone or with building materials I crafted, whatever, a bunch of heavy stuff. I park the animal here, and I stand in between the two, and I take things directly from one inventory to the other. Then, I don't have stairs yet, but then let's say we would go up the stairs that will exist in the future up to one of our floors here. And then we would access him. He's got to be facing the other way, and we got to make sure that we can reach him. But that's the idea, or it's actually a shape. It's a shape. But buffer storage is going to allow us to more efficiently transfer our stuff into our cliffside crafting area. Let's see if I turn her around. She has one of the worst turning radiuses in the game. All the big animals have really terrible turning radius. Like, T-Rex is pretty bad, too. T-Rex is really bad. And I think... Does she just go straight if you're backing up? It doesn't seem like you can turn backing up. But we need her to be reachable from both of these floors. And I might have to modify the height of that floor right there. I've been trying to fiddle with these floors to try to get them at the right height so that we can build over this little shelf. I can almost... Oh, put your head down. I can almost jump off your head onto there. Come on. Oh. But, yeah, I think she's at the right height. Ow. I think she's at the right height that we can reach her there and access anything we put in her. She has an inventory capacity of 1,000... Hello. 1,000 pounds. Okay. Oh, we're getting some rubber banding. Oh, this game is really bad about the rubber banding. I might have to back her up a little bit. Hey. Hey. Okay, back up a little bit. But I've been trying to do incremental differences in the height to try to find the exact right height. You can do that because, well, basically the walls and the sloped roofs are a slightly different height than these ramps. So if you want to go just up a little bit more, but not a full floor, use a ramp instead of a wall. So from here, can I access your inventory? Yes, okay, so this is the buffer storage. She's full of berries and stuff because I was leveling her up, but she can hold... 992 pounds. So that's part one. Getting at the right height where we can access her inventory. And the other is getting to where the floor tiles line up in a way that gives us enough space. I think we're going to have a two-level building area here. One down there and one here. And the heights have been determined by the shelves. So I've just been doing some experiments. That one down there is basically done. This one I'm experimenting with and seeing just what we can do. Am I out of... No, I'm not out of those. Not yet. So I can put one there. So this will be another floor. And I want to have them overlap as much as possible. Problem with overlapping is that we're going to have to use these columns to support the stuff. So they're not going to 100% overlap. They're only going to overlap as much as the game will let us, which is 2 spaces outside of the columns. But that's one level, that's the other. And if I can't build that way on the shelf, I might just... I'm not sure. It's basically trial and error. Okay, so after a ton of trial and error, I think I have something here. We have two individual rooms, and they are overlapping, but I've managed to make it so that there's no pillars in the middle of the lower room, which was really just, if you haven't played the game, you might not appreciate how tricky it is to do this in this game. If you've built things in other games like Minecraft, you just think, well, just place the blocks. No, you can't. You can only go 2 spaces from any pillar. The pillars have to touch the ground, and you can't place a wall. I think it's got to be 1 space from a pillar. So this wall right here, let me get a better view. That opening right there, I can't place a wall there without another pillar. So we might actually have to drive a pillar through the floor of the lower area. But just getting the pillars to be on the outside of the rooms to support the one above. I mean, look at this. This pillar right here is extremely close to that wall. It's just on the other side. And that's allowing me to place the floors there and there. And then on the other side, kind of similar thing. But it just took a lot of trial and error to get it to work so that it all worked. I haven't placed any walls here just to give myself a way in until I decide how far down we're going to go in this direction. Because this direction isn't really the limiting factor. It's figuring out how to get the stuff to work above here. That's the tricky part. So if we wanted to put a wall right there, we would need a pillar either here or there or there. It's too far from any other support. It's 2 blocks from that one. And it's got to be 1 block away to support a wall. Kind of stinks, but I think it's a pretty good achievement. Getting 2 rooms at an angle like that. Pretty nice. Okay, so that's about it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your suggestions for this build. We still, I've got room in the back to hook up electrical cable because we're going to have refrigerators which require electricity. We're probably going to be exploring the oceans again next time because we got to farm up a whole bunch of pearls. And we will start filling this area in with refrigerators and the grill and the smelters and the smithies, a fabricator, all that kind of stuff is going to go in there. And we'll see how much room we have, how much we might need extra on top of that, and how we're going to manage to build even higher. It'll continue to be tricky. Anyway, good start. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.